Kicking off a brand new week of the Media Row podcast with me, Justin Miller, sponsored by Kelly's Little Nipper and Stevens Automotive and Sales with a banger, the Carson Culp, former videographer for the Drake Bulldogs, now a videographer for the UNI Panthers, dropped that news on us kind of early afternoon Friday, and again, it's going to suck not seeing Carson at the Nap Center every day like I tweeted out, but again, couldn't be prouder of the work he's put in. The guy has been an incredible friend. I tell him, kind of towards the end of the show today, at the end of the interview, just how much he inspired me, even though we're in two different fields of sports media, but I still gained so much knowledge from his work, so much inspiration for how hard he works, and I couldn't be prouder of what he's been able to accomplish in a short amount of time. And so I wanted to get him on here because I think a lot of Drake fans and just anyone who is a fan of Iowa sports definitely saw his work because it was getting passed around all over the place. And I think having him on today is just a perfect send-off to now his next adventure. We do have some news with Carson that we will share next week. So make sure to continue to listen to every show because Carson isn't done and out of Drake just yet, more out of the Media Row aspect things because we have some fun news that we will announce next week that he is a part of. But he is all done with taking video for Drake Athletics, and so wanted to bring him on as a final send-off. We will definitely have him on, though, more on this show. But before we get to the interview with Carson, want to give a shout-out to Kelly's Little Nipper over there at 1701 East Grand Avenue in Iowa. Again, you know the Media Row 3 keys onto why you should go there. Great food, great drink, and even better atmosphere. You can't ask for better. And I love how it is a smaller area, but that place fills up. You get a nice, beautiful deck to get out in the sun in the summer. It's getting beautiful out. Sunday, went golfing. It was perfect outside, perfect to then finish up golf with going over to Kelly's and grabbing a few drinks and some great food. So make sure to get out to Kelly's Little Nipper, 1701 East Grand Avenue in Des Moines. We're keeping the keyword going, so make sure to use the keyword Hendo this week as well to go in there and get yourself some free cheese balls. Keyword is Hendo, and when you use that keyword, make sure to let them know over there at Kelly's Little Nipper that Media Row sent you. We kind of had some issues with the Zoom link before we started recording. Is that a bad omen? Maybe for the both of us, but with you going into a videographer role again?
I've always kind of said this, as a tech guy, I'm not the biggest techie. I'm just, I'm not well versed, I guess, but I somehow made it. I just took one FaceTime call to Justin and we got it sorted out. So
no, thanks for doing this for me, man. I appreciate it. I'm sure you've been busy. The tweet you put out Friday with your big news, which we'll get to in a bit, blew up. And just how has it been to see the outpouring of support?
Man, I think that just kind of shows you what Drake is. And it's a big community and how like people pour into each other. And it was really, really cool to see like former guys like Roman Penn and DJ and all like Trey Radica, all the football guys, just saying congrats, and they're so happy for me. Even though I'm going to probably the not,
Rival.
but yeah, that's the best way to put it. But yeah, it's really cool to see how many people support me and this decision, and I'm just beyond blessed to know these people and have been around these people. Yeah, it's just an honor to.
What's tell the listeners and the viewers kind of your next step now, the big news for Carson Culp.
Yeah, so I will be going up to you and I for Panther football. I'll be their main content creative. So back in November, Todd gave me a call and he asked me. Well, he told me he's like, "Hey, I'm taking this Northern Iowa job, um, and I want to take you with." And I was like, "Whoa, okay, yeah." I was like, "Sounds good to me." uh, I mean, yeah, and Todd started my career here at Drake, um, so it's kind of a cool kind of story.
Yeah, how did Todd start your career? Let's just jump into because
Yeah,
I think before we click record, I was telling you, I kind of want to hear who inspired you, who helped you get to this point of your career. So, how did Todd Stepsis, the former coach for Drake, get you this position now?
so yeah, it was. I was showing up to uh, spring practices back in this was the spring of 22, and I just kind of showed up pretty much every day, and I went up to the former quarterback Ian Corwin. I'm like, hey, like I'm really enjoying this. Do you think like there would be any way for me to like do this for you guys like during the season? He's like, "Oh, dude, you just got to talk to Todd. He's all for that kind of stuff." And then literally like seconds later, I walked up to him and he's like, "I've been wanting this for so long." And he's so for social media and so he really just let me kind of do what I do. And I kind of answered the like ask like how do I get inspo is back then was a lot of like music videos. I loved watching like just rap videos and uh all sorts of sports videographers too. That's where I get a lot of inspo from too. Um yeah, that's how it kind of all started was just a kind of brave moment after asking Ian Corwin. And I actually talked to him the other day about that because we were at an Iowa Wild game together. So it was kind of a cool moment.
So you go up and you talk to Todd Stepsis, and he's all for it. And then, most people in your role are like, yeah, I was doing this stuff for free when I was in college, spent years in college just trying to cover any sport. That isn't kind of your story though. I mean, you kind of went your own path and it's really led you down this really amazing road.
Yeah, I was still at college. I was still in college at the time. I was when that happened. I was in my first year still. I was in my second semester of my freshman year at DMAC,
Go
and
Bears.
bear down. Uh, but and I just emailed like everyone, and the first people to reply was Drake, and it was kind of what I wanted to because it was untapped kind of market. And then also, I mean, I grew up going to Drake basketball games with my cousins, my parents, and so it was like kind of a win-win to say. So, um, yeah.
But
And
you
then I after that, I just kept working at Drake, and eventually uh, my academic advisor advised me to drop out of college because I was working at Drake football just way too much. And uh, so I did. I was like, that was probably the easiest dropout I've like of all time because I wanted to anyway because I wasn't there. I was skipping classes and I was just so passionate about making content for both at that time was Drake football and Drake men's and women's basketball.
your advisor advised you to drop out. I knew
Yeah,
you dropped out. I didn't know that part about the advisor being like, yeah, your stuff's already too good. Like you're already at a different level than everyone else. You're good.
yeah, I don't know about that, but I think she was kind of saving her tail too because I was being a bad student, but I don't blame her, and it worked out. And me and her still text to this day. She's awesome. Shout out to Katie.
So you take the job then with Stepsis, and so now are you on the road at this time, or are you just doing home games and practices for Drake with the football team?
Ooh. So football team, my first year, I went to every single game except for the Stetson game, which that started the whole 17 game win streak within the PFL. Uh, so probably what started the good luck was me not being there. So that's what I say. Uh, but yeah, I was very fortunate enough to go to every road trip, and just those road trips were so amazing because I got to meet and like talk to with all the players, and now they're like some of my best friends, and now I like live with some of them. So very fortunate my first year, and then the second year and third year I went to every single game, and yeah.
The with traveling and getting to know, Todd and the players to a deeper level, how does that help a videographer? Because I know as someone who has done some writing work and broadcasting work, it just helps you feel more connected to the game, helps you tell the
Mhm.
story better. But behind a camera, how does that help?
To me, it's kind of like I always say that I'm not really part of the team, but it makes me feel like a part of the team, and I feel like I'm serving for others. Like I'm doing my part to serve them, and then also to serve the coaches to get like better players through recruiting. And um, yeah, I think it's just with all that like friendships I build up, it just way more passion. Um, because it's not you don't feel like it's just a job. You feel like it's like you're fighting for a cause, and that's what really motivates me to do what I do. Is feeling like I'm doing it for a cause more like if it's a job. Um, so and just like seeing like people play the videos before games to like get them amped up, like even like little stuff like that, um, just whatever I can do to help uh, on the field, because whatever I do when I'm shooting doesn't actually directly impact, but whatever I can help out with, before like before game hype videos, um, just makes me that more passionate and to do whatever I can do for the program.
So now we're in your first year. You're covering all the games at the Drake football side of things. How did you get involved then with basketball? Because I think that's where a lot of people started to recognize your work, especially with how good the basketball team was becoming, and then your work was just getting sent all over the place.
Yeah, so with basketball, it was big thanks to Admire and Tucker DeVries. So what happened was that like first year where I wasn't getting paid, I was trying to go to any game I possibly could. I was so one game I went to, it was at UNI. Uh, it was the game where Roman Penn hit a layup to tie the game up to go to overtime,
Yep, yep.
and so I made a video for that. And Admire, he still tells me to this day that is like that's when he's like, okay, maybe we should give him a chance to if Kyle Starcevich, he was the guy before me,
Hmm.
ever were to leave, I might be next up. And then very thankful for uh, Tucker DeVries also putting in a good word for me. I didn't really even talk to him that whole year. I didn't really know him. He just told Admire and Coach DeVries like, "Hey, I really like his work. I think he would be a really good asset." So that kind of helped a lot too.
So that would be then the 22-23 year, right? Or would it be
21, 22.
21-22?
Yep.
And so then you got the full-time gig, right? Or you started to get pay
Yeah,
that
I started getting
fall
paid
or
that fall. So I started getting paid the 22, 23 season.
okay. And then how
And
did that just start taking off for you?
Yeah, just winning helps. So
Doesn't hurt.
yeah, it doesn't hurt. So whenever we won, just making videos and I really felt like a little kid in a candy shop, uh, because I grew up going to games, some very bad games, but
I think we were probably in the
yeah,
same arena where it was like 100 people, maybe.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I just really loved going to those games. They were so much fun, and then now I'm like covering them, and then they're actually like good.
Yeah.
It was just surreal, and I wanted to just really impress like all the fans and like to really just spread the word of what Drake is, and it is that sleeping giant, and now it's getting kind of recognized right now. So
And when was a part for you? Because I know you talked about Admire seeing a video and being like, all right, this is kind of, let's get this guy on our team now. When was
mhm.
the moment for you where you felt like, okay, I can do this full time? Like, this is what I want to
Mm,
do. This is my best work. Maybe not your best work, but maybe something you took that you were like, okay, I got this. Give me the
ooh,
shot.
honestly, I didn't think I could make it full time until probably it was the 23-24 season. Uh,
Really?
yeah, I had a lot of low self esteem about it. But it was crossover season with football and basketball, which is the most chaotic thing in sports, especially at a smaller department.
Hmm.
Uh, and so I was told to make an intro video with footage I have. It was 24 hours before the Lipscomb game. So I spent all night grinding, and uh, I made an intro video, and people were really happy with it. And it was kind of like after that, I'm like, okay, like I feel like I got the hang of this. Like I can do something with this full time. I've always wanted to go full time, but I just never really thought it could be possible. And luckily it did. It was so.
So 23, 24. That's when you became full time? Or
No, 22, 23
oh,
was,
okay, okay. Because I
but
was
I
gonna say, I
didn't
was like,
think.
how did you?
Yeah, I didn't
Okay,
think I could make it like full time until
gotcha.
that year. So
Okay. And was
yeah,
that the intro video, the one that you grinded out in
yeah,
less than 24 hours? Is that the one that won you the award?
yeah. So I won the best intro video for the 23-24 season that year, and
Do
it
you
was
have
with.
where's the trophy? You don't have it hanging up?
It's
Come on.
I got a screenshot on my phone from Twitter. That's my trophy.
You don't get like a legit trophy?
I mean, it could be a pat on the back.
I
I know.
thought you get like a trophy. I thought like the
Nah,
Missouri Valley gives you a trophy.
I wish. I mean, it looked good on
Oh,
the resume though.
it looks very good
Yeah,
on the resume. I was just,
that's my trophy.
because I'm someone who has no shame of putting out, my achievements. There's none right now. So like, it's pretty bare on the bookshelf. But if they gave you a trophy, I was gonna say, I was like, I'm looking at your TV, looking at your hats. I'd have that thing like smack where you can't even see your face. Is what I would have done.
Yeah,
But
I
no,
mean,
that was pretty cool when you won that thing because I think a lot of Drake fans just knew how much potential you have and how good your work is that it was like, yes, finally give him the recognition he deserves.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
What was that moment like when you saw your name? If it was just a screenshot on Twitter.
I mean, I was sitting at my desk. I was working at the Iowa Cubs. It was in the springtime, and I was just scrolling Twitter because I had nothing to do that day, and I just saw it. I was like, I literally just said, "No way," and I was just in so much disbelief. And then I had Admar text me. I'm like, "Oh, okay, so this is like a legit award."
This wasn't Okai playing a prank on you, Twitter
Oh
wise,
yeah, Okai's burner is crazy when he's a player. Yeah.
What were some of your favorite moments in those interactions with players? Speaking of Okai Jam Goose, because man, that whole Jam Goose family is one of the
Yeah.
sweetest people. Loved Okai. His whole family was so supportive of everything Drake. But there's so many stories. Us driving down to Wichita, you and I both were just like going off on all these players that we've been fortunate enough to meet. Who are some of your favorite?
I was around these guys' age. I was 21, 20 at the time too. So it's like I'm lucky to be able to kind of just like hang with these guys like on road trips, and like me, Tucker, Andrew, Nate Ferguson, like we'd play card games with the student manager. There's a lot of funny stories with card games. Uh, so that, and then also like with football guys, a lot of those like my favorite memory with that is we're at Eastern Washington, we're in Spokane, and we're staying at this hotel, and we look around, the next like hall is the National Pug Convention. And so like we all just like migrated to that room, and we were just watching like there had to be like at least over like 50 pugs. I mean, it's just like so unreal things just happen. Um, and then like we saw Big Ed in San Diego. He's on 90 Day Fiance.
Yep, yep.
Um, so that like just like stuff like that, and like talking to the players is just I will never forget. And it's all the stuff like off the court, off the field that are the most memorable for me.
Could you imagine being like the judge at a national pug convention and just seeing all these Division 1 football players like standing and staring at you? That'd be
They
more terrifying.
they were very accepting to us. They wanted us to come and pet the pugs. They were awesome. I mean, they were so cute. There were so many of them. It was so much fun.
Stepsis is like walking out of his room with his notepad, like, all right, guys, these are the defensive plate. What are my guys? And you all are just petting these pugs.
No, like literally, so because we had to come back to the meeting room where our hall is,
Yeah.
and then right after we all just went back to the pug convention. It was so funny, dude. Yeah.
This made me think. So you were talking about dropping out of college, you're doing this stuff for Drake, excelling at it. Was this something you've always wanted to do? Or when was the first time you kind of picked up a video camera and was like, oh, this would be kind of fun to mess with?
Mm. I mean, so growing up, I've always kind of made stupid YouTube videos with my friends from in town. Uh, like we'd make video game references, like video game, like YouTube game, like videos, and then in high school, there was a class, and my friends like, you have to take this class, like it's so much fun, and I had to decide between culinary or video, and I ended up doing video. And then ever since I started doing it, but it didn't take me until um my freshman year of college. I recorded one of my high school football games for fun because one of my high school friends, he was a year younger than me, asked if I could make a video for them, and that's how it really got started. And that's how I just in high school I was just grinding so much too, because I was also in theater, and so I didn't want to like drive home because my high school was a town away. So I just stayed in our computer lab, and I was just finding out ways how to edit, because it was just so much fun to me to learn new techniques. So yeah, that's like how I really got started, was just that early years of just putting in the work of video editing, and that's how I kind of knew I wanted to do something with it. I just didn't know I would end up in sports because I thought I was going to be like a movie director. Uh,
Okay.
I wanted to be like an Edgar Wright uh, movie
Oh, the
director.
he did Baby Driver and
I mean, that's one of my favorite
Shaun of the
movies.
Dead.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. That's another great one. So, and I wanted to be like kind of like that, but then I get just kind of realized Hollywood's not for everyone. So
Yeah.
but I really love sports, and so I and when my friend texted me, I was like, yeah, I gotta. And like right after that game, I was like, I have to. Like this is what I want to do.
So would you say kind of those movie directors, because I know you talk about music videos too, are
Mm-hmm.
those kind of more the unique inspirations behind your work? Because yeah, you could see hype videos, from I know you're a Miami Heat fan, you watch those,
Mm-hmm.
those are gonna inspire you to try new things with Drake and now you and I. But when you watch a movie, are you also looking for kind of cinematography, the way the camera moves, things like that?
Yeah, a lot of that, and but also is like minor like references. So like there'll be like a quote and that I would want to use maybe, and then I would use it in the video, stuff like that too. But also like camera movements, how to set up a scene shot. In this past year, uh, I took reference from a YouTube video, and then also the movie Major League
Oh,
for like marketing.
that
So
was an all-time. That was your idea, or you
yeah, so
helped create that
I
idea with Stepsis?
yeah, I was like that would be hilarious.
It was
Uh,
so well done, and Todd and the entire coaching staff nailed it too. I didn't know
they're
that was
great.
your idea.
Yeah, so I like watched the movie like a little before the season started because I was working in baseball,
Hmm.
and I'm like, this would actually be a kind of hilarious. I just didn't know how to implement it, and that year we were really trying to push ticket sales, and so we kind of thought that would kind of be a great way to just kind of implement that. So
Oh, Stepsis does so good in that video. That's like he nails it.
he that's his he tells me that's like one of his favorite movies. So
Okay.
he was like, I'm doing the head coach. I have the voice. So I was like, I was gonna make you do it anyway, but yeah, you got it.
So you bring up you've done baseball, football,
Mhm.
basketball, Drake relays. Just how does all of that help you grow, and which one was kind of the hardest to get a hold of?
Mm. So I actually worked for the Des Moines Menace. Uh, what was that? The summer of 22? That might be the summer of 21. It was one of the summers. Soccer's like one of my actual favorite sports to watch, and I started doing it for the Des Moines Menace, and it was just so hard. It's
That one
just
would be really hard.
yeah, it's difficult, but I mean, it just kind of teaches you like you can't always rely on in-game action. So you got to figure out, you got to be creative on how to like incorporate fan shots and like little detail shots of like maybe putting on the cleats, um, high fiving each other, or even like a little simple head nod, just stuff like that. So I think that actually really benefited me because I mean they're not going to score, 10 goals.
Yeah.
They're going to score two, and if you miss it, it's like, well, now you got to be really creative. So, but it really did make me grow as a creative a lot.
And that was the menace. You got put on Sports Center, right? With the top
Yeah,
10.
yeah. I was so yeah, it was number 3 on top 10, and then it was on I can't remember. It was Bleacher Report. They put on Bleacher Report socials, and do not look at the comment section because I get flamed.
Really?
Was
What?
my favorite one was because I was so shaky. Uh, and
Oh.
they someone said, "Is this guy like on a washer?" So I I was kind of laughing because it was like my first year like getting actually paid. So I was from like an organization. So, but yeah, making
First
top
year actually
three.
getting paid, you get put on Sports Center top 10, and people still are. going to critique your work.
Oh yeah, I mean, it humbled me for sure, which was probably what I needed. So it's a blessing in disguise. Yeah.
Is this guy on a washer? That's a crazy comment.
Yeah, I was not expecting that one. There's plenty other ones too, that were really funny.
So, I want to do now kind of a quick question with you. List your like top three favorite directors because this
Mm.
is a fun one. I love movie discussions and didn't know you wanted to be a director.
Yeah, so Edgar Wright, these are not in order. Um, Edgar Wright is probably my most inspirational, but uh, and then I keep forgetting this guy's name. Who's the dude that made Blade Runner, the
Oh,
newest one, and then
the
Arrival?
newest Blade Runner, the one who
Yeah,
did. I think did he also do like the Dune movies?
yeah, it's like Dylan, or I can't
I know
pronounce
who you're
his
talking
last
about.
name.
I'd have to
Yeah,
look that one up.
and then oh man, I mean, you can't go wrong with Christopher Nolan. I mean, it's the most basic answers of all time. And like you go to a film school, they all say the same things, but uh I would say those. I mean, just the pure like you look at their discographies of like movies. I mean, it's just elite movies. And but I would say like Edgar Wright has a more diverse portfolio of doing comedy, action, horror,
Yeah.
uh, and that's what I really like is like a director that can do multiple things and like be really elite at what they do.
I always liked how he always like made music a big part of his movies. Like Baby
Mhm.
Driver, hell of a soundtrack.
Oh
And then
yeah,
like Shaun of the Dead, I always thought it was hilarious how like they would kill the zombies on the beat of the music throughout the movie. I always
yeah,
thought was
Queen,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, kill the queen.
I need to rewatch it. It's been about like 5 years since I've seen that movie. It's so good though.
Loved that one as a kid. I remember seeing that with my dad and just being like, this is hilarious. But no, Carson, thank you again so much for doing this for me. Now moving on to you and I, just what are your expectations? What are you hoping to improve upon now as a videographer?
Yeah, I've kind of made this a goal last year with in Drake, with the amount of resources I did have. I wanted to become the best page on FCS level. Uh, but now with you and I'll have a lot more resources, like more bodies.
Yeah.
So like student interns. So I'll have a lot more like angles. Now I kind of want to develop as a leader because there'll be student interns that I will kind of tell what to do. I want to kind of develop a leadership role. Um, I've kind of never done that, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. And then also just be able to produce way more content for players, community, um, to really show off what you and I football is all about. That I feel like we haven't seen in a while. So, but yeah, I just want to also maybe making the Missouri Valley Football Conference intro video of the year.
There
That
you
might be
go.
the other one. Yeah. So
Maybe just
maybe
sprinkle that one in there too.
if I have time. If I have time.
With the leadership role, that's got to be pretty interesting now. I mean, would you ever expect yourself to be in this sort of position because you were someone asking for advice and talking with Admire just 3 years ago, and now here you are, you're going to be in the leadership position.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy because a lot of the people are gonna be like my age.
Does that make it
So
harder or easier in your opinion?
yeah, I was thinking about this. It might be easier, but there is definitely gonna be like gonna have to be like, hey, like I'm your friend, like, but I'm also gonna be your boss. So, um, but I think it's easier because then you're more relatable to the guys, and they kind of understand, like they get it. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I'm really looking forward to it because I'm also their age, and a lot of the creatives there, some really good creatives that I want to learn from them, and hopefully they want to learn too. So because we can all grow together, I think that's the kind of the way to do it in this industry is just growing together. So
Will Drake fans be able to see you at Drake men's basketball games? Like, are you going to be covering UNI basketball at all? Do you know? Or is it just going to be strictly football and just helping out when you can?
yeah, my sole job is UNI football, um, but uh, you 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 you'll see me around the nap dinner. You'll see me around.
Perfect.
Definitely, if not on the baseline, I'll be there as a fan. Um, going to so many games, just growing up, and then also recently, um, there's just no way I don't miss out on what Drake is doing for men's and women's, um, for both great programs and great coaches. I have lot of lot of great things to say about both AP and newly coached Hendo. So,
With Drake, is there a moment that will stick out to you as your favorite in your time?
dude, can I
Oh, it's
pick
kind
two?
of a.
Can I
Uh,
pick two?
you're the Carson Culp. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Okay, hold on. uh,
2023-24 video intro video of the year award winner can do what he
no,
wants.
that one, dude. Okay, so it's just so many different, very like different reasons. Drake versus Eastern Washington for football. I mean, that whole trip is just insane. Like the pug convention, and then um, playing on the red turf, and then one of the biggest upsets in college football that year. I think Drake was 35-point dogs. So and then but then Missouri. I mean that the Missouri Drake March Madness. I mean, just never really. I mean, we got a first four game uh,
Hmm.
against Wichita State, but beating Missouri and then just seeing how everyone rallied for Drake uh, is super special too. Uh, but those are like equal to me of like how cool they were. Um, so I'd say probably those two are like my all time favorite moments at Drake.
I know that was going to be my final question to you, but the red field made me think of another one.
Oh yeah.
Was that awful to film on? I what's the worst like filming environment? I feel like a red field would suck, but also I
Mm.
haven't done a lot behind the camera.
You know, I actually really liked it.
Oh, okay.
I well, it's just different, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Change it up.
yeah, no, it was really cool. I mean, like you really only get to see the like photos, and then you're like actually there, and then you just have to tweak your settings a little bit, and then a little post production doesn't hurt either. But that I think that was really cool. Um, I think the worst place though is uh, to film is SIU's arena.
Okay.
Just everything's so maroon, and it's just not very bright in there. So it's a it's a cool arena, but just very very maroon. So you gotta do a lot. But yeah,
Carson, thank you again for doing this for me. I really appreciate it. Being able to see the work you've been able to do in this short amount of time, how quickly you've been able to go from someone just trying to get their foot in the door to then a full-time gig to then being asked to go different places. It's been really cool to see. And even though you were a year younger than me, I looked up to you. Like I watched your hard work, and you were always someone I was excited to see at the Nap Center, excited to see what they were doing, and really I was going to be a cheerleader for Carson Culp if he was wearing Drake colors or now you and I colors, but I will still cheer for Carson Culp. It's been really cool to see your career in this short amount of time. And no, there's still so much more you're going to be able to do.
I just really appreciate you having me and just being a really good friend to me. Um, your friendship to me means everything. I just love everything that you've been doing, and for Drake, we share a lot of special memories, especially at Wichita.
That was a
Um,
blast, dude.
it's such a good time. And then, I mean, just seeing the amount of growth that you are having is just amazing. And I said this to you, and like I truly mean this. Like I've watched the show at first because I was a friend, and then after like the first episode, I actually just love the show. So now I'm watching it as a fan more than a friend. So
Well, thank
uh,
you.
you're you're doing great things, and it's just going to keep going up. And you still always have a listener and a commenter on your YouTube page.
Love it. Like this. Like this. If
I
you
will,
see
and
a
I'll
like
comment
this
on it.
comment, that's a Carson comment. But no, dude, it's gonna be awesome to see what you're able to do. And like you said, with the resources now, it's going to be really cool to see what you're going to be able to grow into. What's the dream? What This will be my legit final question. What's the dream for Carson?
Ooh, it's Miami Heat. Um,
Yeah.
being down in Miami. I love the city. I just love the culture of the city, and then the food there is amazing. And you can't really beat the weather. So
No, I was in Florida for the first time a few weeks ago. Yeah, I wish I could never see snow again.
yeah, yeah. Now imagine I took a vacation. Oh man, it's brutal, but Miami's cool. If you get a chance to go. Especially go to a Heat game. Those games are fun.
Well, I'll plan on like what you'd say 5 to 10 years. You'll be able to get me tickets there as someone who's doing videographer work. We'll plan
Courtside,
on that. Hell yeah.
courtside.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
Can't thank Carson enough. I know he is kind of in a slow down period right now as he's getting ready to move for you and I. So he's officially done with Drake, doesn't have as much on his plate, but it still means the world to me that he is able to find time and join me on the show. I know he put out on his Instagram that if you are someone or maybe have someone in your family that's graduating, he is open to do graduation photos, videos, whatever you need. And so make sure to go check him out at Carson Culp. Uh, he's incredible. You're going to see his work just continue to get better and better. Met everything I said there at the end of him just being a wonderful friend, but truly is someone that I looked up to with how good his work was at Drake, and I can't wait to see how much it gets better as his career progresses. Won't be the last time we hear from Carson, but certainly a great first time here on the Media Row podcast. Before we wrap up today's show, give a shout out to Stevens Automotive and Sales at Give a shout out to Stevens Automotive and Sales at 5320 Northwest Beaver Drive. 35 years of family owned and operated here in Iowa, and you can't ask for better. They are wonderful people. They're going to help you as much as they can, and they're going to get the job done and get it done right. And that's the people at Stevens Automotive and Sales. I'm someone who knows nothing about cars. And so, when I was first getting oil changes and getting things checked out on my car, I used to be nervous. And maybe you're someone who is like me too, of man, you see that oil light go on, you go, man, I feel like I'm gonna go and they're gonna tell me 8 different things that need to get fixed, and maybe they don't need to get fixed. You don't have to worry about that at all with Stevens. Stevens gets the job done right. They explain what they do, and they just make sure it's a comfortable environment. I now, if I know I need to get an oil change, which I do actually here in the next few weeks, I don't get nervous about a single thing because I know my car is in good hands at Stevens Automotive. Maybe though you're looking for a new car, and they have a great lot of just unique different cars all over the place for any one of your needs, whether you're looking for a truck, maybe just something to get your kid who's in high school started behind the wheel. They have everything you would need and more over there at Stevens Automotive and Sales at 1701 East Grand Avenue in Johnston, Iowa. 35 years, family owned and operated. When you go to Stevens, make sure to tell them that Media Row sent you. So last week we kind of had that weird moment where Kyle Kemp wasn't able to join us. We will get him on this week. Actually, it is coming up on Wednesday. So be sure to listen in to the Media Row podcast Wednesday as Kyle Kemp, the offensive coordinator for the Drake Bulldogs football team and former Iowa State quarterback, will join the Media Row podcast. Excited to have him on. Thank you to Carson Culp. Thank you to the listeners, viewers. Continue to like, subscribe, comment. Got a really sweet comment over the weekend of someone just saying thank you. I appreciate all of that stuff. It means the world to me. So let's keep it going. We will see you guys on Wednesday on the Media Row podcast.